London, England. The jewel of Great Britain. The Big Smoke. The Square Mile. Old Blippy. The City. The Great Wen. Mr. Blobby. The Swinging City. That one on the Thames. Whatever you call London, it calls you too. Beckons you. Like a walrus, looking like a big siren to very lonely sailors. Warning. In this video, I'm going to get far too in-depth about a single track in Gran Turismo. This dive is very deep. And I'm not really going to talk about driving on this track at all. No, I'm going nerdy deep. Too nerdy for you? Let's find out. It's the 2000s. How do you show that your system is capable of rendering the world in photorealistic detail? You gotta do London. It's always London, and most often around Picadilly Circus, the one with the famous signs, or Trafalgar Square, which is like a block away, the one with Nelson's column.
Aren't you just sex mad?
Who would not be sex mad in a country where they erect an enormous phallus in the center of London and call it Nelson's column? Nelson's column? Pah! It is Nelson's Willie!
Okay. I know it's technically 2010 when Gran Turismo 5 came out with this track, but, close enough. I love this track. It's a showpiece for the PlayStation 3, and it's kind of stuck there, not returning in Gran Turismo Sport or Gran Turismo 7. The only numbered Gran Turismo I've skipped is Gran Turismo 5, so this course was my favorite new for me one when I started Gran Turismo 6. One thing that stuck out to me right away when playing this course is how it's filled with photographs to use the textures of the real buildings that surround the course's real-life streets. You start off on Shaftesbury Avenue, take a right onto Charing Cross Road and Leicester Square Station, onto St. Martin's Place, right again by Trafalgar Square, to Cockspur Street. Cockspur. Haymarket, then a square left turn onto Charles II Street, right onto Regent, and right again onto Shaftesbury Avenue by Picadilly Circus. Right away, it starts you at the iconic TDK Sanyo billboard at Picadilly Circus. You might remember the famous Picadilly Circus Sanyo TDK billboard showing up in Metropolis Street Racer, Project Gotham, and The Getaway. Previous videos on this channel. Check them out if you like your obscure racing games. Subscribe today.
I'll go there now.
These signs immediately date the game, not just because both the TDK and Sanyo signs are now gone. You know that the photogrammetry was taken before August 3rd, 2010, when the static TDK sign was replaced with this new, fancy, high-resolution video one. This is no longer a TDK sign, by the way. This isn't that surprising. The course was made for Gran Turismo 5, and then just moved pretty much unchanged to Gran Turismo 6. One of my favorite little details is you can sometimes even see the reflection of the photographer in some of the windows, which is cute, I think. What do you think? I think that's the photographer, right there. From the distinctive dynamic range of these interiors, very dark, but it's a nice day outside, I'm going to go ahead and say they were shooting on film. When I'm not making nerdy YouTube clips about games, I do work with color in film and video. This started leading me down a rabbit hole. When exactly was this photo spree taken around London? You can actually find out a lot about that by looking around at things here. One of the great little details was they used all the business names and ads around for the texturing and modeling of London. Presumably without license. This happened previously in Metropolis Street Racer and The Getaway, and if any of you viewers know anything about English copyright law, I'm very curious if they're allowed to do this with it being representation of a physical place, because when games do most other cities, they don't include photos of the real businesses. It's always generic replacements. I brought this up on a busy gaming Discord and was told immediately, oh no, this is just product placement. I don't think so. When a restaurant is officially advertising with a game, you know. I mean, look at Crazy Taxi. The restaurants and stores are all highlighted, pristine, and focused. Not some blurry Pizza Hut off in the corner near Leicester Square. Do the fast food places give any clues? The subway at Charing Cross Road in Lichfield is now a sushi mania, and from the terrifying archive of Google Street View pictures, you can see that happened sometime between April 2018 and August 2019, which doesn't really help. The Burger King by Picadilly Circus isn't even in Google's records, and neither is that Pizza Hut on Charing Cross. That Angus Steakhouse is still there, so that's no help either. Also, don't go to Angus Steakhouse, it's too expensive. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it! Google does remember the Pizza Hut at Orange and Irving. Gosh, there were so many Pizza Huts in the area back in the 2000s, huh? And this is one that I'm pretty sure I've eaten at before because I was incredibly unadventurous as a young adult. Okay, we're getting something. Google Street View goes back to 2008 here, and was already something called a hamburger union before later becoming a steak-and company. Oh, what about the Virgin Megastore at 1 Picadilly Circus? This would seem to actually help quite a bit, because you might remember this location as famously being a Tower Records. After Tower Records went out of business in 2003, its space was taken over by Virgin Megastore, which in itself went into receivership and became something called a Zavvi? Zavvi took over the stores in September 2007, and then proceeded to close in another 2 years. But not only are there a ton of real pubs and fast food places, there's also a ton of real theater ads. Like the Mamma Mia ones on the buses in The Getaway, there's lots of Mamma Mia here, and boy howdy, do I hate Mamma Mia. It's weird because I love ABBA, but I can't stand a jukebox musical. Seeing Mamma Mia made me swear off ABBA for a whole decade. That's a war crime. I digress. Is Voulez-Vous or Super Trooper their best song? You decide in the comments. So, there's ads all around Shaftesbury Avenue for Mamma Mia, which was running at Prince of Wales Theatre just off the course, so now we've got an approximate date for the photogrammetry at the course, between June 2004 and September 2007. Alright, we've narrowed it down a bit. You'll also notice ads for The Lion King. Very unlikely that Sony paid for that piece of Disney. But that doesn't help much. It was, and is, running at the Lyceum Theatre on the Strand from 1999 through to the date that I'm recording this, sometime in July 2023. Okay, but bear with me here, because I don't think Sony was being paid, or paid to include the marquee for Neil LaBoute's Some Girls, headlined by Friends star David Schwimmer, and notably featuring Catherine Tate, who would later be a Doctor's companion in Doctor Who. It opened as shown here at the Gielgud, not Get Good, Theatre on May 12, 2005. You know, therefore, that these photos were taken just after the release of Gran Turismo 4 in 2005, as the play ran through August 13th in 2005. You also might know Neil LaBute for his famous Nicolas Cage version of The Wicker Man, but did you know? Did you know? This was possibly filmed at the exact same time that these photos were taken for Gran Turismo 5. That's right. The Wicker Man was filmed July 28 to September 30th in 2005. I'd totally forgotten that Neil LaBute had directed The Wicker Man until I wrote this very script. Which also means I know what I was doing that summer too. I was working as a telecineast on Neil LaBute's The Wicker Man. It's turtles all the way down. So now, thanks to David Schwimmer, we know pretty much when these photos were taken. Thanks, David. Okay, you could also know the Garrick Theatre was showing Elmina's Kitchen from April 26th to August 20th in 2005, but Some Girls ran shorter, giving a smaller window. Hey, if you liked this video, feel free to check out the other videos I have. I've been posting some reviews, mostly of like racing games and open world games, and I'll be posting more soon. Also, if you like nerdy talk about RPGs, JRPGs, the theater, and I guess Gordon Ramsay's butt comes up a lot, feel free to check out Square Roots Podcast. It's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on Google Play. Links are in the doobly-doo down below.
Let's read it now.